hello and welcome to English Bus Lessons. My name is Wayne and thanks for coming. It's great to see you. Now, today we are using this textbook, American School Textbook, Vocabulary Key Grade 5. So, if you have your book and you're ready, then let's have some fun. So, if you're ready, let's open our books to Unit 1 on page 10. Wow, a whole new unit for a new book. Now, the title of this unit is A Nation of Diversity. A Nation of Diversity. So, America is a country of diversity. And diversity means many different things. In Canada and America, I'm from Canada, there's a diversity of animals. So there's many different animals. So in America, diversity, which is word number 1, means there's a lot of different people and different cultures in America. Now, for example, look at these children and this woman here. Yeah, there are some white people, Caucasian white people. There's an African American child with darker skin, one Asian girl, and maybe she's from Mexico or some Latin country. America has a lot of people from different countries around the world. From India, from China, wow, from Europe and South America. So many different people live in America. So they call it a nation of diversity. And that's really good. It's very, very interesting. So, number 2 in your book is ethnic group. Ethnic group. And the white people are one group. One group. So, you can say that is one ethnic group. And the people with dark skin, the African Americans, are another group. So African American people, originally from Africa, they are another ethnic group. And anybody from Asia also is another ethnic group. So there's 1, 2, 3, and maybe she's from Latin America somewhere, South America possibly. So she might be another ethnic group. So ethnic means people of a different race, different color skin possibly, and different culture as well. So maybe there's 1, 2, 3, 4 ethnic groups. And America has many different ethnic groups. And it's very, very interesting. So word number 3 is melting pot. I'll show you a picture. There's some pots. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But look at the big one. Here's a big pot here. That's a pot for cooking. And you put the food inside or something, close the cover, and start cooking. And everything inside is melted together. It's mixed together. So some people think that America is like a melting pot because it has so many ethnic groups all together, mixed together in the country, living in the same neighborhoods, living together, working together, going to school together, friends. It's great. So they call America is the melting pot. They call it the melting pot because of all the different ethnic groups that are there. So, and that's a nice name to remember. Yeah, USA is the melting pot. Number 4. National identity. Identity. What's the national identity? When I think of America, I think of the Statue of Liberty. It's freedom. So, being free is one identity of America. Okay? And also, America is a very, very powerful country, very strong country too. So there's another identity. And it has many, many different people. Many different ethnic groups. So there's another identity. So what are the characteristics of America? That's called the national identity. All right? So it's what the country is like, what the country believes, what the country does. That's the national identity. Also, number 5 is authority. So what do we have here? We have a police officer saluting in front of the American flag. So the authority. Who is the authority? We call police officers authorities because they can control other people. They help people to follow the law. So we call police officers authority. And in America, your book says the government's authority comes from the people. So the United States government, it has authority. The United States can do what it wants in the country. But where does the authority come from? The people, the citizens in America give the government the power to make laws and make people obey the laws. So that's what it means by authority. Now, number 6, they call America a democratic republic. A republic. A republic is a place that makes its own laws. It controls itself, and it doesn't have a boss or anything. So America makes its own laws. That's good. We know that. It's also a democratic country, meaning that the people, all the citizens, can choose. They can choose the president. They can choose the governor of the state. And they can actually guide what the country will do. The citizens can choose. Other countries, no, there's one leader, and the leader says everything, and the people have no choice, no freedom. So those are not democratic countries. But America is democratic. People are free. The people can help decide what the new laws are going to be. Now, something else. Number 7, Constitution. Constitution. Because America is a free country, there's certain rights. We call them rights. Things that people are allowed to do, and it's about freedom. So, the Constitution was written up many years ago. The president of that time, back in the 1700s, and other very important people, probably read about them and learn about them, they made a piece of paper called the Constitution. And we're going to talk about what the paper said and what people are allowed to do. It's a very important piece of paper. Very, very important. Now, number 8, amendment. Amendment means to make a change, to change something. So an amendment is a change. Now, this paper is very, very old, and through the years, they wanted to change things. They said, oh, we forgot something. We should also say this. So they make a change. They make an amendment. That's what it's called. An amendment is a change. And this document, the Constitution, has been changed several times. Now, number 9, the government, the American government. Now, here's a group of people all standing around, and they're discussing things. They're talking about something. They have, in America, where does the president come from? Well, maybe this man here in the center is the president. And these people are his group. Okay? We call the group a party. Not a woohoo birthday party, but a political party. And then in America, there's another group of people, a second group of people. They have a leader and they want to control America and make the laws. Those are called parties, political parties. A party is a group of people that want to make laws for the United States. Now, the last word is compromise. Compromise. So, let's say you want to go to the park and play soccer, but your friend wants to go to the school and play baseball. So, what can you do? Go to the park, play soccer, go to school, play baseball? Maybe you can compromise and go into the middle. Find something else that you can do. No soccer, no baseball. Maybe play badminton at home. So a compromise is a middle solution, a middle answer. That's what it is. That's what a compromise is. And many times they had to compromise. So as the book says, the two main parties, there's one party and there will be another party, they have to compromise or the bills, the laws won't be allowed. They won't pass. All right, so those are the key words. Take a look at them, think about them, and when you're ready, come back and we're going to make sentences with the power verbs. And now, the power verbs on page 11. With the power verbs, we can start making sentences. So the first word is ratify. Ratify. That's a big word, a very high-level word in a sense. Ratify means, like this document, the Constitution. Okay, maybe 5 or 10 men and women, they wrote the Constitution, but it's not ready, it's not approved until the president says, yes, I like it. That means to ratify, is to say, it's okay. Go ahead, do it. So if you want to go to your friend's house to watch TV, your mother and father have to ratify what you want. They have to say yes. That's what it is. So the Constitution was ratified by certain people, and we'll probably learn about them later too. Establish is another word. Establish. The Constitution of the United States was established in 1789. It was made in 1789, okay? So establish is to create something and start it. Create something and start it. The next word is to amend. Remember, it's change, and the word change is below it. So several times people had to amend the Constitution, or they had to change the Constitution a little bit or very much sometimes. Now, bear, not a big bear or anything. The bear means to have or carry. So right now, I have this book. I am bearing this book in my arms. I am holding the book. The Constitution said that American people have the right to bear arms. Arms are guns. So American people have the right to carry guns if they want to protect themselves. So they have the right to bear arms or to carry arms. And arms, like I say, not your arm. Arms means guns. And that's what they have the right to do in the Constitution. Now, compromise, another power verb. When two parties, political parties, compromise, they find some middle ground. They find a solution or an answer in the middle. One party wants this, another party wants this. Maybe they can find a compromise in the middle. So both parties are happy. Or they reach a compromise is another way of putting it. The two parties reach a compromise. Wow, those are a little difficult. Some of them, like ratify and compromise, are a little difficult. But you can do it. You try it. Look at the keywords. Start making sentences and having fun. And when you're finished, we'll look at some word families. Now, let's look at the word families on page 11. Now, we said that this is the Constitution, but there's also other very important papers, documents that were made or established in the United States of America, in the history. So let's look at some of the names of the important papers. The Declaration of Independence, when America said to the world, we are a new country. We don't belong to England anymore. We are independent. So that's one very important paper. The Articles of the Confederation. There's another very important one. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So there's 4 very important documents, important papers from America's history. Now, let's read about the rights granted by the Bill of Rights, okay? What can people do? Let's read some of them. Freedom of speech. Yeah, anybody can speak and say something. Even if the government doesn't like it, people have the right to speak and say what they want. Freedom of religion. You can have any religion you want. Some countries you can't. The government says no, no, no. Freedom of the press. The newspaper. The newspaper can say what they want, not everything that they want, but almost everything. The right to bear arms. So there's the bearing arms, of having guns. The right to a swift trial. So if you're a thief or a robber and you go to the courthouse, sometimes it can take 1 year or 2 years before it's finished. That's too long because maybe you didn't do anything. So it has to happen fast. That's their right. And the right to a trial by jury. So in the courthouse, there's one judge, usually one judge, and a jury is probably the 12 people that are listening, and they will decide if you're guilty or not guilty, a criminal or not a criminal. Okay, so those are the word families. They're very, very good. And now one moment, we're going to do some interesting reading and learn about this a little bit more. Now, our story on page 13, the title is The Bill of Rights. So let's you and I read together slowly, okay? In 1787, the state's leaders started to write the Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. But many Americans were not happy. They were worried about the strength of the national government. They knew a strong government could take away their rights. So they wanted to add some amendments to the Constitution. These would give specific rights to the people and the states. So they wrote 10 amendments to the Constitution. Together, they were called the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights was ratified in 1791 and then became law. The First Amendment is about freedom. People have freedom of speech, religion, and the press to assemble peacefully. The Second Amendment gives people the right to have guns. The Third Amendment says the government cannot put soldiers in people's houses. The Fourth Amendment protects people from illegal searches and arrests. The Fifth Amendment says a person cannot be tried twice for the same crime. The Sixth Amendment gives people the right to a speedy trial. The Seventh Amendment gives people the right to a jury trial. The Eighth Amendment protects people from high bail. And the Ninth and 10th Amendments protect the people and states by giving them all rights not mentioned in the Constitution. All right, that was really good. Now, please you try it once or twice more and practice, practice, practice. Let's look at the words that I underlined. Supreme means the best or the highest. Supreme, that's the best or the highest. So the Supreme Court, for example. And again, press. Here, press is the newspaper. They're talking, that's a nickname for the newspaper, the press. The right to assemble. Assemble means to come together. Come together. So the people assemble, they come together, or they meet at the meeting. Arrests. Oh, the police officer catches you and takes you to jail. That's arresting. We call that arresting. And bail. Now bail, what that means, if you're caught by the police and you want to go home, well, if you give enough money, if you give a lot of money, bail is money. Bail is money. If you give a lot of money, you can go home, but you have to come back to the court for your trial. And if you don't come, if you go to another country, you lose all that money. Somebody loses a lot of money. So the bail is protection that you will come back. All right, really good. Thank you very much. Now, one more thing we should do, we always should do, is look at the keywords one more time and practice them. And remember what we studied today. That's the most important thing. All right, we talked about diversity. Yeah, many different kinds of things in a place. Diversity, America is a nation of diversity. There's so many people. What people? Many ethnic people, ethnic groups. Different minorities. There's some black people, and there's Asian people, and there's maybe some Native Indian people are an ethnic group. And then maybe sometimes the countries too, maybe like Italian people, Greek people. Those are ethnic groups, depending on your appearance and your culture. So for that reason, they call America the melting pot, where all the people are blended together in one country. It has national identity. Yeah, America has a certain personality. It's very strong, and the people are very, very smart, and they have freedom, and many, many more things too. And they're a very rich country, so that's like national identity. all those things together. Authority. Well, a police officer, a firefighter, a judge, they are authorities. The government gets the authority from the people. The people choose, and here, democratic. The Democratic Republic. So democratic means the people can decide. It's really, really good. And a republic, so a democratic republic, republic means we make our own laws for ourselves. We take care of ourselves, govern it. The Constitution, yeah, that was one of the first documents ever made to actually set laws, to make laws for the new country, okay? And remember, there was maybe a little too powerful, so they made the Bill of Rights to maybe give the states and the people some more power too. And there's the Bill of Rights, the amendments, yeah. Things that they added to the Constitution. That's what they added to the Constitution. Parties, not birthday parties or anniversary parties, political parties, the groups that want to be president, want to control the United States. Compromise. You have one choice, another choice, let's make a middle choice so everybody's happy. Like that. All right, congratulations. You did a great, great job. Thank you very much for coming for our first unit on Book 5. I'm excited. So please come back and see us again on English Bus Lessons. Until then, have a nice day. See you again. Bye-bye.